feeling down. Life's a little rough, you say. Time's a little tough. Well, okay then.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Hello and welcome. Blue Rose News would like to invite you to join us on a journey of blue whales, icky meat, acceptance, and a muckraking Nader.
And don't forget,
our first topic is Muckraker Appreciation Day. These people find the problems in the world and expose them. That way they can help find solutions to make the world a better place. One example of these people is Arthur Dent. Let's join him to find out what happened.
His name is Arthur Dent. He is a 5'8" tall ape descendant, and someone is trying to drive a bypass through his house.
What do I want you to do about it? Well, I want you to find him and tell him that I'm currently lying flat on my back in front of... Find the hole.
Come off it, Mr. Dent. You can't lie in front of the bulldozers forever.
Oh, well, I'm game. We'll see you rust first.
This bypass has got to be built, and it is going to be built.
Why has it got to be built?
It's a bypass. You've got to build bypasses. Besides, you should have made your protest months ago. These plans have been on display at the planning office now for a year.
On display? I had to go down to a cellar.
Another important muckraker was Upton Sinclair. He wrote a book called The Jungle and exposed the ickiness of the meat industry.
like the fact that these places were slightly less than sanitary.
People hacked things up in the meat, rats chewed on it and died in it, and it just wasn't a fun place to be, and it made people sick everywhere. Mr. Sinclair's book inspired the Pure Food and Drug Act. That means that food and medicine is made sure of that it's safe and healthy for us to eat.
Upton Sinclair wasn't a reporter of this kind. Muckraking was a group effort.
They're an inspiration to us all. I hope that our little presentation inspired you to show a muckraker that you know how much you appreciate it. And I also hope that someday you can be a muckraker yourself to help make our world a better place to live in. Of the present-day muckraker is Ralph Nader. Most people think of him as the eternal presidential candidate that never wins, but he also does his best to help people and the environment that they live in.
There's been one more, another life they say is part of war. Ever made this world of ours a safer place? I don't think so. Taking over the world just ain't my thing. I like to know who died and made us king. I think it's time we do some listening. Everywhere to reason now. Will we ever have the time? Change is never easy. Should we take a stand now? Just go with the flow. Are things getting better? Is the answer no?
When we were little, we were told that America was founded on the ideas of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
But some people aren't allowed to do that.
Why do you say that?
Because happiness is spending your life with the person you love.
Isn't that what people do when they get married?
Exactly. That's the problem. Not everybody can marry the person that they love.
That doesn't seem fair. Why can't they?
Because some people want to spend their life with someone of the same gender as them, and they can't because often they live in places that don't allow.
It's really depressing. What could be done to help it?
I think that it's important to encourage people to just accept everyone for who they are, rather than just considering how they might seem to some other people. After all, even some celebrities opposed Prop 8. They would include Steven Spielberg, Brad Pitt, Ellen DeGeneres, Molly Ringwald, Stephen Bing, Barbara Streisand, Melissa Etheridge, and David Hyde Pierce.
Maybe then we could all be friends together.
There are some places in the U.S., though, that do allow gay marriage. Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Washington, D.C. But at one point in California, there was something called Prop 8, or Proposition 8, that banned gay marriage. And of course, after this, there was an outcry of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and supporting people that went out on the streets and were very against this proposition. And in light of that came a campaign called No Hate, which was against Proposition 8. And eventually Prop 8 was indeed repealed. I think we're doing great so far. I think that America's been doing very well. I think that everything's gotten really better. People have learned to accept other people for who they are more than they used to. And of course, thanks to Upton Sinclair, meat is much better to eat now. The best muckraker, once again, I think we're going back to Upton Sinclair, because as he so graciously put it, meat used to not be that great, and now it's very nice to eat. I do see a bright future for the world. I do see a bright future for the world, considering how many advancements we've made in nearly every area. Social conditions have improved, everyone is way more accepting, racial tolerance has gone to a very high level, and food and pills and such are very much better to eat and safer to have than they were years and years ago. What do I think about Ralph Nader? I think he's a pretty awesome guy, actually, because he's had the will to keep running and running no matter how little the odds seem that he will ever be elected president or elected anything for that matter. His persistence should pay off, and I think he should have way more voters than he really does.
Please remember that muckraking isn't just an issue of our past. There's still problems in the world, and we still need people to volunteer to be brave and step up and find solutions. Hopefully, all of us can be a muckraker in some way, just to make the place we all live a better, happier place for everyone. Today, I'd like to sing a little song about whales.
I aimed at the public's heart, and by accident I hit it in the stomach.
See, another very important muckraker was Upton Sinclair. Because of him and his expose on the ickiness and disgustingness of the meat industry, we can all have food that's actually food and edible, and it's good for us. It's your line, Emily. Penguins and so, but sometimes people throw their garbage in the sea, and then it makes it so the whales just can't be happy. So help them be happy whales. Keep your garbage out of the ocean and side of things.
See, that's why
Today, I'd like to sing a little song about whales. They're the mammals of the sea, and they make us happy as can be. Action! There's blue whales and killer whales, but they're not as scary as they sound. They swim in the ocean, eating krill and penguins and south. But sometimes people throw their garbage in the sea, and then it makes it so the whales just can't be happy. So help them, and help them be happy whales. Keep your garbage out of the ocean and recycle things.